I'm currently using the Power Glide version of the Iron Cobra pedals, which has a cam here that provides more leverage for a louder stroke. Almost a dead 90-degree cam, so it's all torque. It's really a hard hit. And as a metal drummer who plays a lot of double bass but does not use triggers or any process sounds, a loud stroke is a really ideal thing. And while most of the Iron Cobras feel and react pretty similarly to one another, this particular pedal seems to deliver a harder stroke to the bass drum. Since I started using the Cobra coil add-on on the pedals, it's kind of thing you don't notice right away, maybe, but you feel it more, especially halfway through the gig when you realize that you're not nearly as fatigued as maybe usual. It allows this heavy weighted pedal board to really work with gravity and sink down fast and add a lot of weight to what's going on, but then it assists in the upstroke, and the upstroke is really the toughest thing. And what's interesting is on other pedals, to get a fast response, you really got to crank the spring tension all the way up, maybe even more sometimes. I know guys that have like gotten shorter springs and stuff to really get them moving fast. And what stinks about that is if you notice as the beater shaft goes towards the head, right around here, it starts really building up a lot of tension in the spring again. So you start here slack, and then if you have a really high spring tension, over here, it starts to build again and actually dissipate the energy and momentum of the beater flying towards the head. The Cobra coil attachment really lets you leave the springs a little bit looser, so that way it's all forward momentum, and then without building up too much tension here, the Cobra coil works on helping to send it back towards your foot. But obviously it's a feel thing. You go through different phases and it's adjustable, so you can slide it back if you want to feel it more, and you can slide it forward if you want to feel it less. And sometimes it's just kind of what kind of shoes I'm wearing and what kind of gig it is that night. It's just a feel thing, but it can really help take some of the resistance away when you're pushing down towards the bass drum and help you just do downstrokes. It's kind of like really making the most of rebound. It can really help your technique just focus on getting it down and not worry so much about down, up, and just getting a faster, easier feeling. Another conversation I've been having a lot recently with other guys that play a lot of bass drums is talking about the big trend in pedals right now of direct drive, all steel, super lightweight, minimal resistance. And I don't really believe that that's an ally as far as bass drum pedals. I think that if you relate your foot technique to your hand technique and think about things like Muller method and velocity stroke, they require a pendulum effect of like centrifugal force and the balance between your muscular exertion and rebound. And pedals that are so light like that, they don't do any of the work for you because they're so light. You have to pick your leg up and drop your leg every single stroke. And this pedal has enough weight and momentum that you just put it in motion and you barely have to do anything. It just starts to play. You can push it with your pinky finger and it just wants to play. It wants to go. It carries itself, having enough weight to swing back and forth and create that sort of pendulum feeling, which saves you a lot of energy, saves your body a lot of strain. And I know some guys that play those pedals and they end up sliding their foot so far back on the pedal board down here to decrease their leverage because their body naturally just doesn't like playing all the way up on the pedal board because it's too light. So they're spending a lot on a pedal and then making every adjustment they can, getting the heaviest beaters they can, wearing big boots, sliding their foot all the way back just to get it to feel like this pedal. So save yourself the time and just go for this one. I'm pretty picky about pedal adjustments, and I actually do need certain things. Iron Cobra's perfect for that reason. You can really adjust everything. And a big thing for me is keeping my pedal board as high as I can get it. I really like as much leverage from the pedal board as I can get. And in order to adjust that, most pedals on the market, you can adjust that, but you can't adjust that independently from the angle of the beater. And I really don't want the angle of the beater to change. I like it about 45-degree angle. And then another big adjustment, most pedals, what they do is this beater, they'll have really tucked in far to the left, so it's hitting the bass drum center. And then they have the slave beater hitting the bass drum left of center. So you really, all of a sudden, start to get two distinctive tones. You get a center sound and a left of center sound. And you don't hear it so much live, but mic'd up, you can really, you hear the boop, bipple, 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 bipple. You know, it's just the two different feelings. And this one is great because you can very easily take the right beater and pull it out. It already comes a little offset, but you can increase it a little more. So they're both equally off center. So you get a more consistent, even sound and naturally cleaner sounding double bass and cleaner sounding strokes. And those are the two big adjustments that I just can't live without. And they come with interchangeable beaters, surfaces. They have a felt one, a hard black plastic one, and then they have this wood one. And I love the sound of wood because it matches the timbre of the drumsticks hitting the toms and stuff, and it's a much more consistent overall tone. Boom, 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 boom. If you're into heavy metal, you know that a lot of your tom fills involve a lot of kick drum. You fill in the last 2/16 notes or the first 2/16 notes a lot with bass drums. And when you get this uber clicky or uber soft and fluffy bass drum sound and then these really wet, great sounding toms, your fills end up sounding kind of like or and you don't get this nice clean, which is what everybody wants. You have wood in your hand and wood on the pedals. It really balances the sound a lot, balances the volume. It's really smart. It's a great thing to have. These hold up great. These are they're awesome. They never rust. They never corrode. They never break. It's there's a lot of hell that they go through on tour, and not just from the playing. I mean, the playing is bad enough, but then you get a lot of guys helping you with your stuff on and off stage, and they lift it by the drive shaft and plop it back on the floor and all kinds of stuff. And these really hold up. They're solid, heavy duty. They have their own weight to them, and they don't flop around on the floor as much, especially the slave pedal on the left side. It doesn't flop around a lot because it really is solid. It has some substance, and yeah, they're definitely durable, road tested, durable.